Sup everyone, Woken Red Pill here. Today I'm going to talk about my visit at the surgical room today involving my experience with doing a vasectomy surgery. This is a procedure which lasts about 10 to 30 minutes depending on the case and the doctor, okay, including the procedure. On average, it takes this long for the cases to get done. I highly recommend for men that has some anxiety and they wish to take ibuprofen or whatever fluids and necessary medications that they would use on you to put you to sleep, knock you out cold, and you feel like nothing is there. They'll numb you up. They'll give you antibiotics. They'll give you these things that'll be able to help you run through this procedure smoothly. I highly recommend men that if you don't want to have no more kids, or a man that doesn't have kids and they wish to not have kids in the future, getting a vasectomy done is one of the safest procedures, and I recommend many men to approach this procedure because not only will it benefit you in the long run for those of you who doesn't want any more children, it's less stress and less of a hassle. You won't have to worry at all about ever having kids ever again. Now, for men that wishes to reverse the procedure, it's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. I asked many questions from my doctor that was in charge of doing the surgery. I'm going to do a follow up within about 2 weeks. Everyone's pain and experience is different. So far, I'm still on the lubricating and the numbness on my area, which is the ball sacks, of course. I'm currently numb down there, so I don't feel much pain, but I do feel the pain sensation, but it's not as severe. And in rare cases, which is about 1% out of 99% of the cases, or out of 100% of the cases, there are severe pains that would even go anywhere from lasting to a few weeks. I'm going to be out of work for about a week, and for any man that does this procedure, it's best to know that you can't do much physical activities. Like, say, you can't, for instance, you can't be lifting heavy objects like that. You can't be exercising or pushing yourself to do any activities when it includes working out, lifting heavy objects, boxes, pushing heavy objects, running up and down, long distance walkings. It's not recommended at all because it could, not only that, it could put a more strain on your muscles, which could reopen up the wound where the vasectomy was taking place. So, for any of you who doesn't know about the vasectomy, uh, I'll just give you some information and the myths and what people think. And these are the same questions that a lot of men commonly ask and think. Like, this topic is always bring up, like, can you get cancer from a vasectomy? Study finds vasectomy is not associated with prostate cancer, and recent study reports that men considering a vasectomy should not be concerned that the procedure will increase their risk of prostate cancer. Researchers say having a vasectomy is one of the many myths once thought to increase a man's risk of prostate cancer, which that is not the case. I asked my doctor this. He said it's not going to affect your sexual lifestyle. It only does in the beginning. Now, he said it's best to recommend every man wait about 7 to 10 days or nearly as 2 weeks before doing any sexual activities. So, you're married, you have a girlfriend, whatever your beliefs are. Um, I don't condone the shacking up and all that, but hey, everyone is doing their own thing. I don't recommend any man just straight up immediately have sex. You're gonna open up the wounds and you're gonna increase your chances and causing more pain on your ball sack area. Okay. You don't want to make you want to make sure like your testes is okay, and you don't get any more problems. Okay. One of the long term effects and risks that are very, very, very small, extremely small, it's possible to experience long term would include pain and discomfort. Some men may report some chronic pain after the following vasectomy, delayed surgical failure, which is extremely rare, epidid, epi, epididymitis, um, and sperm granuloma. For example, the sperm granuloma is basically where the sperm is continuing to clog up while the tubes is tied after the vasectomy surgery, and it leaves a very painful discomfort, which can lead to a lot of complications and infections. So it's best to make sure you talk to your doctor, and I recommend you get it done at a hospital. The doctor recommends it. He said even though doctors may do it in office locations, or office environments, he doesn't recommend it because you're more aware. Even though they numb you up, you're more aware, and there's chances you could be able to feel everything that's going on. And for guys like me, I have a big of an anxiety issue. I recommend men to do the easy way where they put you to sleep. It feels like 10 seconds to 20 seconds just pass by like it's nothing. You know what I'm talking about? It just feels like 10 to 20 seconds passes like it's nothing, you know? So getting a vasectomy is not a life or death situation or a death sentence. It's just an easier form for men to permanently not have kids at all. And believe it or not, there are more than 500,000 cases per year for men getting their vasectomy surgery, right? And back then it was about 10%, and it went up to 15, and it's increasing in higher numbers. The reason why I see this is that many men does not want to have kids like that anymore, or they just want to stop having kids. Back then it was the norm to have over 10 kids, 15 kids, 20 kids. Now it's like a lot of kids to people now on the average is about 2 kids to 3 kids. Five kids or more is considered a lot of kids. And I only have two right now. So imagine having four, five, six. You're going to be struggling this age because now a lot of jobs are being eliminated. And do I recommend men doing a vasectomy? Of course, it's the most best recommended procedures that I approve many men to do. If you For guys that doesn't want to have kids, and for guys who already has one kid, you're celibate with having 2 children. You're not planning to have any more with your wife or your significant other. Then I recommend the surgery. From experience, even just doing it today, I had to put an ice pack, and I'm required to take it off every 15 to 20 minutes while the pain lasts. Right now, as I said, the numbness is still there. I still feel some pain, and it was little as 1, 2, 3. It didn't take very long. I did the procedure. I met the doctor. I met the nurses. They took care of me, and I'm home right now, relaxing and chilling right now. I just gotta make sure I take it easy and wait for over 2 weeks, and then follow up with my doctor before I'm able to engage in any sexual activities. And while you're engaging in sexual activities, you're required to ejaculate. So that is required you to do any form of sex that requires you to ejaculate or helps ejaculate, to make sure all the sperm that's left in your semen is completely demolished, like, completely gone. Then after those 20 times that you ejaculate, you're going to get a tube that the doctor will give you, and he's gonna require you to put your semen in there. And I think what I was told was within an hour or two, I have to make sure I bring that same semen sample to a lab close by, which is I live close to the hospital, thank God. Where I bring it to a lab so they get that semen tested out to make sure the sperm count is not 100%, but make sure it's 0%, to make sure I have no sperm count at all. and you're still going to become, you're still going to be coming. The semen will still be there. It's just sperm won't be available at all. For those of you who are wondering, you're not going to be coming out blanks. You're going to be ejaculating semen, but just the sperm is not going to be there. I know a lot of men is going to be taking advantage of this in the future. It's not as bad or life threatening or dangerment at all. It's just a simple short procedure, a surgery. I was in and out, and then it took very long. I know the day before of the surgery, after 12 midnight, you cannot eat or drink anything. The reason being for that, when you're doing the hospital procedure of the surgery, is that when they give you the medications and the anesthesia, they want to make sure that you're not vomiting while you're knocked out or asleep, because what could happen is that it could disrupt the surgery. And not only that, while you're knocked out, a lot of the chemicals and foods and in your body from your stomach fluids, right? It could cause you to choke and get sick, and that's one of the side effects. So that's why they recommend people be on an empty stomach from fluids or meals. Like, completely can't eat anything or drink anything at all the day before your surgery. So you want to make sure the next morning, the day of your surgery, that you're clean. And once everything is over, you could go back to eating and going back to moving on with your life. Okay? There's no restrictions to it. You just got to make sure that the doctor or the hospital that you go to, I don't know how, wherever state that you live in. I live in New York, and I live in upstate New York. I had to get a consultation done before getting the surgery, and I had to get a checkout by a regular doctor to to be given a recommendation letter, or to get a referral, so that way I could be able to get this out the way. And yeah, no pain, no gain. The pain is there, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be worth it long term. Cause I know they're coming off all the male birth controls. I know there's going to be a lot of irresponsible idiots that's going to be doing it raw with the random women, casually having sex with women. I already know that's going to happen. I already know that. I don't agree with it, but I already know that's going to happen. But you rather be safe and not worry too much about the male birth control, because I feel like the best type of male birth control is getting a vasectomy surgery done. You want no kids? Vasectomy surgery is like the procedure. The only bad thing about the procedure for men that does want to have kids in the future and who's thinking about having children, it's permanent. Because once you want to try to be like, oh, what if I want to reverse it? The procedures to reverse the vasectomy surgery will cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And there's going to be a lot of complications in many cases where they can't even reverse the surgery. Why you wanna go through the hassle? Wanna go through more complications to reverse it? There's too much. Just do what you have to do. Snip, snip, and you're done. There's no going back to that. No more kids. Okay. And if you guys do want to have kids in the future, then that's on you. You have a choice in the end of the day. We all do. Okay. The male birth control medications. There's always gonna be side effects. I don't believe in medication, and anything can happen. That's why I feel for men to get vasectomy, I recommend it a lot. I see why it's increasing in higher numbers, because it's one of the most best procedures. And for guys that has a wife or a girlfriend, you're telling her to do like, hey, what if I want my wife or my significant other to get their tubes tied? The procedure for women to get their tubes tied and to not get any more kids between men's vasectomy surgery is that their risk of more infections and the procedure being more complex is a lot higher and way more greater than men. With us as men, they just go through our testicles, they snip snip. After they slice open your balls, then they snip you back up. For women, the complications and the procedure is completely different from men. So women gotta go through a lot more than men if they don't want to have kids and they want to go through the biggest measures to not have any more kids. They're getting their tubes tied. They got to get their insides opened up. They're getting cut open. and it's more complicated for them to get their tubes tied, and the doctors got to do a lot more for women. Okay, if you guys want to do more research about this, you can research yourself. Go on Google. Google is there for a reason. Men who are interested in doing this, check with your local doctor. Check with any hospitals that does these type of surgeries for men. There's another type of vasectomy. I think there's about two types of vasectomies. There's one that is safer than the other or less painful than another. But there's always going to be its ups and downs, and the common side effects that's going to happen. Yeah, do I recommend it? Of course I do. Okay, so this is for men that doesn't believe in taking the birth control and they just want to permanently have no kids at all. It's going to be drama to get a reverse, and I'm not getting mine reverse because I'm already settled. I'm already solvent with having the children that I have right now, and I'm perfectly fine with that because that's less to worry off my chest instead of always worrying about, oh, what if I miss the birth control pill? What if I miss this day? And then all these complications that could happen. You get where I'm coming from? It's easier for men to go through this procedure and not have kids than women go through the complication surgery, tube tying procedure to not have kids at all anymore. Anyways, from my experience with getting the vasectomy surgery done, the procedure doesn't take that long. I was snipped. I was knocked out cold. I woke up. I was just all like numbed. I was just all like, what the hell happened? It felt like 10 seconds passed and a whole hour passed. They gave me the recommendations of things to do. I got a home care packet for the things to do, what not to do, how to take care of myself, the doctor's number to follow up with him after the few weeks. Got the ice pack out the way. Yeah, just all you have to do is ask questions, do your research, and this is one of the safest procedures for men. And if you permanently don't want to have any kids at all in the future, I recommend this to every man to do. Anyways, this is Woken Red Pill here. Peace out. Let me know what you think, and feel free to support and subscribe to my channel.